The Royal Marines' much-feared Mud Run is the toughest part of a 32-week training course said to turn civilians into commandos. You can see why even the strongest recruits dread it. Exhausted, demoralized, and covered in foul-smelling sludge from head to toe, these Royal Marine recruits hope one day to wear the coveted Green Beret, marking them out as the elite of Britain's fighting forces. The men need to call upon reserves, both mental and physical, that they didn't know they had, simply to get 45 minutes in the mud that is so thick they can barely run, doing exercises and games, and it is so difficult that getting through it really builds team spirit. We're not just looking for physical strength, but mental resilience as well, and the team cohesion that comes from getting through the hardship together. This strength and cohesion forms parts of the Royal Marines' DNA. He said the recruits would not necessarily know when the run was coming up, saying it's all about temperatures will very slowly start to drop from its normal level of 98.6 degrees. The hours-long drill tests the personal resolve of all those involved. The Russian military isn't known for having a gentle touch, so it should come as no surprise that their counter-terrorism operations training is really tough. But just how tough is borderline in center mass to give them confidence in a terrorist-controlled situation where bullets might be flying by their heads? The trainees, wearing body armor, absorb a few rounds before firing shots back at the target. In a video, the man in front of the target is Andre, an FSB operator, who doesn't flinch as 3 rounds zing by his head. They are forced to stand motionless, and then they wait for someone to casually walk past them, but then suddenly draw a pistol and shoot them repeatedly in the chest. After taking these hits, they are to return fire, and they have to aim just inches away from the attacker's unprotected face. In a second drill, the trainee is given multiple cardboard targets to shoot, but while he does so, he is pushed and shoved by trainers, who yell in his ear, while guns fire immediately adjacent to his ears. These are all supposed to simulate distractions on the battlefield and enhance the trainee's focus in stressful situations. Cobra Blood. The exercise includes events such as an amphibious assault demonstration, landmine destruction, and a combined arms live-fire exercise. But probably the most photographed event is the jungle survival training, during which Thai instructors share with the Americans their knowledge of life-sustaining jungle sources of food and water, plants, insects, and, of course, cobra blood. For instance, some plants can be a good source of water, and there are a lot of different fruits available for consumption. But when those options aren't available, Marines can also eat geckos, gibbons, and even scorpions. Then, of course, there is one of the most iconic aspects of the Cobra Gold jungle survival training: drinking cobra blood. Help them stay alive if there is no drinkable water, and can also provide essential nutrition. The pictures show the Marines with their heads tilted back and sticking out their tongues as the instructor drips the blood down their throats. It's not for the squeamish, and even some hardened Marines appear to have their eyes tightly shut as they get their taste of the cobra blood. In contrast, others seemed keen to have a drink of the blood of the deadly serpent. According to Marines who have taken part in exercises in the past, the cobra blood tastes protective equipment. The Belarusian Special Forces are required to undergo an obstacle course that is covered in flames. Nicknamed the Fire Walk, this exercise requires the soldiers to complete a 10K run with occasional bits of fire interspersed across the course. Sometimes they will need to walk through the fire, and other times they need to scale walls covered in flames. The Special Forces are undoubtedly an imposing, and candidates must crawl 164 feet over jagged, porous coral rocks in a pair of shorts. The road to heaven starts with a hard fall from standing to planking position. The fall looks to be tough on the elbows, but immediately after, the recruits begin to crawl through the sharp rocks on the points of their knees and elbows. In some ways, the training simulates a landing on a rocky beach, but it appears to function mainly as a test in which the trainees must will themselves to conquer pain. The path has 10 stopping points, and at each one, the recruits must stop and perform an exercise. As they make their way, instructors pour salt water on them to exacerbate the pain of their open wounds. Friends and family of the trainees are encouraged to attend in order to make the soldiers more self-conscious. At the end of the long, rough road, they finally earn their place among the most elite soldiers of combat and pay special attention to the urgent need to strengthen fighting skills. This is why the Chinese Army discontinued the practice in 2014. Martial arts performances are a trademark, PLA Daily said of the brigade, which it did not identify in detail. For many years, they relied on these skills to display their abilities and win much praise. However, do these stunts have a practical use on the -4 Fahrenheit? More choreographed than tactical, the troops perform for a horde of media, which at times seem to outnumber the North Carolina-based Marines and their Korean counterparts during this annual photo op. An environment like this is unforgiving, said Captain Thomas Rigby, 33, of Company A, 1st Battalion, 8th Marines. The company commander from Red Bank, New Jersey, said his Marines use the harsh locale to focus on cold weather squad tactics and decision-making skills. Rigby said historians' assault in 1950 have cemented the service's can-do, go-anywhere attitude. We're a jack of all trades, he said. We fancy ourselves to be able to fight in any climate and place. The idea is to acclimate soldiers to any intense conditions they may find themselves in.
Hi friends, please like, share and subscribe SJ TV. For latest updates, please press bell icon.
Ta-da.